Well, we got a big revelation about the upcoming Sony Spider-Man project, Madam Web. We've known for a while that Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney would play a key role in the film, and now the classic Marvel character she will take up has been revealed. Let's talk a couple minutes about Spider-Woman. Well, Sony's been doing a pretty good job of keeping details about Madam Web under wraps. The secrecy surrounding the film has been rather successful, but we have seen some set photos and leaks about the project. But there has been absolutely no official announcement about the Marvel Comics characters that'll be part of this movie, despite the massive cast they've picked up. Now, we've known for a while that Dakota Johnson is playing a version of the title character, but we have known also quite a while that Euphoria's Sydney Sweeney has a pretty big role, and now the exact character she's playing has been confirmed. Now, this report doesn't come from Sony, so we want to take it with a grain of salt. It's not from anybody official at Sony, so we want to check it out, and Snyder has a great track record, but let's keep it all in perspective. What Snyder reported on his Hot Mic podcast is that the Euphoria breakout star is 100% playing Spider-Woman. Now, he didn't clarify which version of the character, but previous rumors indicated the Julia Carpenter version of the character would be part of the film, and honestly, if you know the comics, this makes a ton of sense. In the comics, Julia Carpenter becomes the second Madam Web, after the original, Cassandra Cain, was killed by Sarah and Anna Kravinoff. Now, for quite a while in the comics though, she had the mantle of Spider-Woman, and even donned a black Spider-Woman costume very similar to the one Spider-Man wore in the 80s that was spawned from the symbiote. Now, this begs a ton of questions, because Olivia Wilde has had that solo Spider-Woman movie in production for quite a while, and many people are now wondering if Sweeney could go on to headline that. It's been a really long time since we had any updates on that project, but given the delays surrounding Madam Web, Sony may have been putting the project on hold until this one was completed, and might be even looking for some reactions. Now, Snyder believes it's still in development, and went on to speculate that Sweeney might very well play the lead for that project. Now, I have to say, to me, this makes so much sense if this is what you're doing. First and foremost, there are some interesting rights issues with the first Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, and how Marvel and Sony share that character. The short version is, Sony can use Spider-Woman, but they can't use the name Jessica Drew, very similar to how Marvel and Fox shared Quicksilver. We've known for a while that Sony wants to put these pieces on the board so they become interconnected. And although quite honestly the Venom movies and Morbius really had very poor interconnectivity, it looks like they might be doubling down on that here, and using Sweeney as the seed for a future Spider-Woman movie, and having Madam Web lead directly into that makes a ton of sense, and I think it's a really great idea for Sony. Now, as for Sydney Sweeney playing Julia Carpenter, I think she'll probably be fine in the role. I really gotta see what Sony has in store in this movie, how serious she's taking the project, costumes, and all those other details, but I am pretty open-minded to it, and I love the idea that Sony is embracing some of these versions of these characters. I am kind of looking forward to what they're bringing us in Madam Web. It completely sounds like somewhat of a Terminator-style movie, trying to save a young Peter Parker from some multiverse threat, which should play pretty good right now with many comic book movie fans. But we'll have to wait and see.